If I was producing for a large creamery, I wouldn't separate my bucks because it's a lot of work doing it this way. I would just let them run with the girls. But you end up with a bad tasting milk. And that's why when a lot of people get goat milk that doesn't taste good, they're running their bucks with their doe. We can't eat grass, we can't eat sticks, leaves, things like that. Our body won't digest them. These girls can eat stuff like that and turn it into fantastic milk that we can eat. A cow and a sheep, their molars are like ours, they're flat. Where on a goat, their molars are like serrated knives back there. If you get your finger back there too far, they could bite your finger off. They're made to bite through branches. When a goat eats, they fill up their first stomach, they're rumen. Then they'll go lay down, they'll spit up their food a second time, chew it a second time, chewing their cud. Then they swallow it and it goes to the other stomachs. The reason they would do that in the wild, if there were predators around, they'd run out in the meadow, gobble up all the grass they could really fast, then go lay down in the trees, hang out and hide out and digest it later. The cellular structure of goat milk is 4 times smaller than a cow milk. And so it can just be consumed by anybody, babies, puppies, kittens, a horse, anybody, any baby who needs milk. It's fantastic for them. There's lots of people who think that they are lactose intolerant. They're able to drink and eat goat products because of that smaller structure of the milk. So now we're going to cook it to 145 degrees for 30 minutes. That's the least invasive pasteurization that you can do. There's a couple others. One's 160 degrees for 10 seconds, and one is 202 degrees, I believe, for 2 seconds. And when you do that, there's nothing in the milk. It just completely kills everything. At this low temperature pasteurization, vat pasteurizing, the way we do it, it keeps the milk intact to make cheese. If you do the 160 or the 200, it completely changes the structure of the milk and it doesn't make a good cheese. So it's a lot slower doing it this way, but it makes a fantastic product. We'll cool it back down, cool it down to around 88 degrees, and then we'll add a culture to it. We let it ripen for a while. Then we add our rennet to it. Rennet is an enzyme that comes from the stomach of a lamb or a calf. It has to be a baby that hasn't sucked on their mom. And then the rennet we use is one that's derived from a mushroom. It's what makes the milk coagulate into a curd. If you didn't use rennet, you would make something like sour cream or the quark we make. Those don't have rennet in them. They are cultured products. When we're making cheese, it's all about times and temperatures. You can make a million different cheeses out of the same culture and same rennet. Fastest one I can make is about 30 hours. I can make a chev. About 15 hours ripening and then about 15 hours hanging on the cheese trolley here, waiting for the whey to drain out of it. Feta takes at least a week on it. By the time you dry salt it, brine it, do everything else. We're doing a chev. It's a French style cream cheese. We're using cheese bags on our chev, and a lot of people will use a mold when they make chev, and then they salt the outside of it. What we do, we just add salt and blend it into the cheese. It's a lot more uniform tasting product, preserves it better, and salt is a big part of cheese making. We use lots and lots of salt, probably a couple 100 pounds a week of salt. You got to come up with different ideas. This was the sausage press that we fill the containers with. A regular piston filler can cost like $16,000 to fill cheese with, and this one is like an $800 machine. And then we make quark, which is like making Greek yogurt, but a buttermilk culture.